Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Sometimes thinking ahead is the right way to go. But what normally happens is you get to the end point and start thinking backwards of things you could have done better, like what I just did. I bought the piping to try and, get a siphon going from the header tank into the unit, and the pipe was too small. But I chatted to the guy, and providing I didn't break the packaging, he was quite happy for me to return it if it was the wrong size, which it was. So I went back this morning, and of course I had a brainwave this morning. Why not take the float chamber out of there and take it with me, and then we can keep poking pipes into the associated orifice until we get one that fits. Now, it would have been nice to have thought of that yesterday, wouldn't it? Then I'd have only had one trip to do. Anyway, he was quite happy to take the old pipe back. We went round the corner, and the first one he picked up, he said, well, this one's a little bit thicker. It doesn't have a specific measurement for the outside. It only has an internal diameter because it's the cheap stuff. I said, I don't care how much it costs. I just need it to fit. And we poked it in, and it fitted nice and tight and snug. It wouldn't come out again. The little gripping unit actually grabbed hold of it. Okay, I thought, right, we'll have some of that. And at 99p a metre, quite honestly, if it doesn't work, I'll throw it away. Anyway, got home, refitted the float chamber, pushed the flexi thing in, well, basically what I did at first was I tried to fill that with water. Duh. You know what this goes back to? This goes back to trying to siphon petrol out of cars in the old days, before you scrapped your car, you tried to get all the fuel out. And the siphon basically was put a tube in the fuel tank and suck it until the fuel comes out. And you always got a mouthful, and it's horrible. And takes about 3 days before the taste goes away. And somehow or other in the back of my mind I had that fear, despite that being perfectly clean RO water. So anyway, we got back to doing the siphon properly and put one end in there, and that's only wedged in place with the lid at the moment just to stop it coming out of the water. Suck the water through, poke the end in, and it works fine as a siphon. So as the water gets used up in there, it will suck more out of there. This thing has got to be sorted out because I can't leave it light like this. I'm going to get algae. So somehow or other that's got to go dark. I'll work something out. What I thought of initially was those of you that have been around a while know that come midsummer the sun comes round here and comes straight in this window fiercely and makes this rack subject to quite high sunlight levels. So I've got some greenhouse paint that I paint on the outside, and then come the end of the season it just wipes off with a cloth. Well, if I mix that up a bit thicker, I'm sure I could just paint this, and it'll do the job. It stops the light getting through. So we'll have a go at that. Make a mess everywhere. And I need to sort out a way of holding this tubing permanently in place so that it doesn't break the siphon, because if that end comes out of the water at any point, air will just go down the pipe and I'll have to start it all again. No big deal, but obviously if I was away for a day or two, the fogger would stop working, it would run out of water, so some sort of fixture for that. But we're getting there. So yeah, it's really good when you think back of things you could have done better which you didn't do. Ugh. Anyway, I'm getting there. Tomorrow's a lazy day. I'll do my Sunday morning chat. I have a brilliant idea for that. I often use other people's ideas for the Sunday morning chat. People make suggestions and I think, oh, I could do that. And if I add that in as well, that'll make quite a little chat. Well, this is my own idea, one I thought of myself. I'm not sure I can actually do it in the... Anyway, I'll just do it. You'll have to wait and see. It's my idea, and nobody, I can assure you, this video will not exist anywhere else in the world. Nobody else has ever done this before. That's my teaser for tomorrow. Anyway, I'm pleased that the kit's getting there, and somebody suggested that I ought to reinforce my shelf. I've stood on the top of that one. I don't think that container full of water is as heavy as me. It's strong. It's actually got a 3-bar support, 2 of which are holding the unit. Yeah, that's not going to give in, trust me. So thanks for your concern, and it is appreciated, because obviously 20 to 25 litres of water weighs a fair old bit, but it's not enough to break the structure here. You know, we've got vertical legs. Vertical strength is phenomenal. You can put a lot of weight on a vertical structure and it will not give in. This is the sort of structure that can give in horizontal. Yeah, so the weight here could actually break that plastic, but the weight is spread over 2 ends like this and supported on 3 things. What I think I might do though is take the advice and go and get a nice thick piece of wood and actually put it there, yeah, so that it spreads the load over the whole area. I'll work on that, but as I said, I've actually put my weight on the top of this one. I didn't actually stand on it, but I actually put my knee on it while I was leaning across somewhere, and it took that, so I think it's going to be okay. The load is actually spread, you know, the mechanics of where that load is. The pressure points are there, which is virtually on that vertical leg, and here, which is the dodgy bit. And like I said, yeah, pressure in the middle of that plastic structure there could give out. Anyway, I'll think about that. There's no reason this has to be full right up. You know, as long as it's got enough water in it to last a few days, I can just top it up. Anyway, a bit of hindsight would have saved me a trip, but it wasn't too far to go. And I had a look at the fishies while I was there. They have some gorgeous, really large tanks set up as coral reefs with live coral and little starfish and crustaceans and things. Oh, they're absolutely, I could sit and look at that for hours. No, I'm not having one. They're too much work and far too expensive. They will set you one up, you know, something like a 4 or 5 foot tank, long, with all the coral and the rocks and, you know, all the filters and the lights and everything like that for a mere £2,000. And then you still got to stock it with fishies and thingies, you know. So it's not a cheap hobby when you get into the, you know, that type of thing. Some cold water fish in a tank with some live plants is probably a cheaper version. That's what I used to have. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for this outstanding Sunday morning chat. Never been done before. Been done in lots of little bits before by lots of different people, but never all in one go. That's got you thinking, hasn't it? See you tomorrow, bright and early. Well, early anyway, maybe not so bright. See you tomorrow.